Rain-tight electrical metallic tubing, or EMT couplings and connectors, are engineered to impede the ingress of water into the electrical conduit infrastructure. This is a critical consideration because water intrusion can precipitate damage to electrical apparatus and engender a significant safety risk. It's important to understand that while conductors designated for wet locations within EMT are formulated to endure contact with moisture, they are not intrinsically waterproof. Consequently, should water permeate the conduit network, it can establish contact with the conductors, potentially instigating their degradation or failure. Such failures can manifest as short circuits, which in turn can inflict damage on equipment and escalate into fire hazards. Rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors serve as a protective measure against these contingencies by establishing a hermetic seal between the conduit and the coupling or connector. This seal effectively precludes water from entering the conduit system and consequently prevents it from contacting the conductors. The Canadian Electrical Code Part I, or SEC, mandates that all electrical installations must incorporate equipment installed in a manner that shields it from environmental elements, inclusive of protection against water-induced degradation. The application of rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors represents one methodology for fulfilling this code prerequisite. The Standards Council that approves the use of rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors does so subsequent to a meticulous evaluation of the safety enhancements afforded by these components. It is determined that these devices constitute an efficacious means of preventing water from infiltrating the conduit system and thereby forestalling damage to electrical installations. Firstly, rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors are designed to create a watertight seal. This seal prevents water from entering the conduit system, which can damage electrical equipment and cause a safety hazard. Secondly, rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors are made from corrosion-resistant materials. This helps to protect the couplings and connectors from the elements and extends their lifespan. Thirdly, rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors are easy to install. This can save time and money on installation costs. Fourthly, rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors are available in a variety of sizes and styles. This makes it easy to find the right couplings and connectors for specific applications. Now let's discuss some specific scenarios. Consider an exterior lighting system installed using EMT. Without rain-tight connectors, rainwater could enter the conduit, potentially corroding the wiring and causing the lights to fail or, worse, creating a shock hazard. In a manufacturing plant, where equipment washdowns are frequent, rain-tight EMT fittings are essential to prevent water from entering control panels and motor connections, which could lead to costly downtime and repairs. Or consider a car wash, where every piece of electrical equipment is constantly sprayed with water. In this situation, using watertight equipment is not only a good idea, it's mandatory. Now let's talk about the specific ratings of certain components. Conductors marked with the wet location ratings such as TW, THW, THHW, XHHW, RHW are suitable for installation in both wet and dry locations. However, the conduit itself can still accumulate condensation, or water could enter through other means, such as damaged fittings or improper installation. Therefore, the use of rain-tight fittings provides an extra layer of protection. It is important to note that while rain-tight fittings are designed to prevent water from entering the conduit system, they are not necessarily submersible. If the conduit system is likely to be submerged, then a submersible fitting should be used. Furthermore, the National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for the proper installation of EMT and fittings in various environments. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC to ensure compliance with local codes and regulations. Proper installation techniques are also critical to ensure the effectiveness of rain-tight fittings. This includes ensuring that all connections are properly tightened and that the conduit is properly supported to prevent stress on the fittings. Using a sealant or thread compound specifically designed for electrical applications can also help to ensure a watertight seal. When selecting rain-tight EMT fittings, it is important to consider the specific requirements of the application. This includes the size and type of conduit being used, the environmental conditions, and the applicable codes and regulations. There are a variety of different types of rain-tight EMT fittings available. so it is important to choose the right one for the job. To reiterate, the primary purpose of rain-tight EMT couplings and connectors is to prevent water from entering the conduit system. This helps to protect the electrical system from damage and ensures the safety of people and property. While wet location rated conductors are designed to withstand moisture, they are not waterproof and can still be damaged by prolonged exposure to water. Therefore, the use of rain-tight EMT fittings is an essential safety measure. Finally, remember that electrical work can be dangerous. Always consult with a qualified electrician before performing any electrical work and always follow all applicable codes and regulations. To expand on the rationale for using rain-tight EMT connectors, even with wet-rated conductors, consider the following points. First, wet-rated conductors are designed to withstand moisture, but not continuous submersion. Rain-tight connectors minimize the amount of water that can accumulate in the conduit, preventing prolonged exposure. Second, even wet-rated conductors can corrode over time if exposed to excessive moisture. Rain-tight connectors help to prevent corrosion and extend the lifespan of the conductors. Third, water in the conduit can create a path for electrical current to flow, increasing the risk of short circuits and ground faults. Rain-tight connectors help to prevent these problems. Fourth, some electrical equipment, such as transformers and circuit breakers, are not designed to be exposed to moisture. Rain-tight connectors help to protect this equipment from damage. Fifth, local electrical codes may require the use of rain-tight connectors in certain applications. It is important to check with the local authorities to determine the specific requirements in your area. Sixth, the overall reliability of the electrical system is improved by using rain-tight connectors. This reduces the risk of downtime and costly repairs. Seventh, the safety of people and property is enhanced by using rain-tight connectors. This reduces the risk of electrical shock and fire. Therefore, the use of rain-tight EMT connectors is a prudent and cost-effective way to protect electrical systems from water damage. It is an important safety measure that should be taken in all applications where water is present. To delve further into the benefits, let's consider specific applications and scenarios. In coastal environments, where salt spray is prevalent, rain-tight connectors are crucial for preventing corrosion of both the conduit and the conductors. Salt water is highly conductive and can accelerate the degradation of electrical components. Similarly, in areas with frequent rainfall or flooding, rain-tight connectors provide an added layer of protection against water damage. In industrial settings where equipment washdowns are common, rain-tight connectors are essential for preventing water from entering electrical enclosures and causing equipment failure. In agricultural applications, where irrigation systems are used, rain-tight connectors protect against water damage from sprinklers and other sources. In transportation infrastructure, such as bridges and tunnels, rain-tight connectors are used to protect electrical systems from exposure to the element. In wastewater treatment plants, where corrosive chemicals are present, rain-tight connectors are essential for preventing corrosion of electrical components. In outdoor lighting systems, rain-tight connectors prevent water from entering the light fixtures and causing them to fail. In underground electrical systems, rain-tight connectors help to prevent water from entering the conduit and causing damage to the conductors. In summary, rain-tight EMT connectors are an important safety measure in a wide range of applications. They help to protect electrical systems from water damage, prevent corrosion, reduce the risk of short circuits and ground faults, and improve the overall reliability of the electrical system. To add more information on the Canadian Electrical Code, the CEC is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations in Canada. It is updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and safety practices. The CEC requires that all electrical equipment be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and in a manner that protects it from the elements. This includes the use of rain-tight connectors in wet locations. The CEC also specifies the types of connectors that are acceptable for use in different applications. It is important to consult the latest edition of the CEC to ensure compliance with all applicable requirements. In addition to the CEC, there may be local electrical codes that apply in your area. It is important to check with the local authorities to determine the specific requirements in your jurisdiction. The local electrical codes may be more stringent than the CEC in some cases. Failure to comply with the applicable electrical codes can result in fines, penalties, and even legal action. Therefore, it is essential to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with the applicable codes and regulations. To elaborate on the installation aspects, proper installation of rain-tight EMT connectors is crucial to ensure their effectiveness. Here are some key steps to follow. First, ensure that the conduit is properly cut and deburred. This will prevent damage to the connector and ensure a tight seal. Second, apply a sealant or thread compound specifically designed for electrical applications to the threads of the connector. This will help to prevent water from entering the connection. Third, tighten the connector to the manufacturer's specified torque. Over-tightening can damage the connector, while under-tightening can result in a leak. Fourth, inspect the connection to ensure that it is properly sealed. Look for any gaps or cracks that could allow water to enter. Fifth, support the conduit properly to prevent stress on the connectors. This will help to maintain the integrity of the seal over time. Sixth, use the correct type of connector for the application. There are different types of rain-tight connectors available, so it is important to choose the right one for the job. Seventh, follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. The manufacturer's instructions will provide detailed information on the proper installation of the connector. By following these steps, you can ensure that rain-tight EMT connectors are properly installed and will provide effective protection against water damage. And now let's discuss some common mistakes to avoid when installing rain-tight EMT connectors. First, do not over-tighten the connector. Over-tightening can damage the connector and compromise the seal. Second, do not use the wrong type of sealant or thread compound. Some sealants can damage the connector or reduce its effectiveness. Third, do not forget to debur the conduit. Burrs can damage the connector and prevent a tight seal. Fourth, do not neglect to support the conduit properly. Unsupported conduit can stress the connectors and cause them to leak. Fifth, do not ignore the manufacturer's instructions. The manufacturer's instructions provide important information on the proper installation of the connector. Sixth, do not assume that all rain-tight connectors are created equal. There are different types of rain-tight connectors available, so it is important to choose the right one for the job. By avoiding these common mistakes, you can ensure that rain-tight EMT connectors are properly installed and will provide effective protection against water damage. Considering the long-term perspective, the use of rain-tight EMT connectors can save time and money in the long run. By preventing water damage, these connectors can extend the lifespan of electrical equipment and reduce the need for repairs. They can also improve the reliability of the electrical system and reduce the risk of downtime. In addition, the use of rain-tight EMT connectors can enhance safety and reduce the risk of electrical shock and fire. This can protect people and property from harm. Therefore, the investment in rain-tight EMT connectors is a wise one that can pay off in many ways. In conclusion, rain-tight EMT connectors are an essential component of any electrical system that is exposed to water. They provide a critical layer of protection against water damage, prevent corrosion, reduce the risk of short circuits and ground faults, improve the reliability of the electrical system, and enhance safety. By following the proper installation techniques and avoiding common mistakes, you can ensure that rain-tight EMT connectors will provide effective protection for many years to come. The use of rain-tight EMT couplings is a crucial safety measure because these couplings safeguard electrical systems from water damage, even when employing conductors rated for wet locations. Despite the conductor's ability to withstand moisture, they aren't entirely waterproof and can fail when persistently exposed to water inside a conduit. By forming a watertight barrier, these couplings avert water ingress, shielding both equipment and personnel from electrical hazards. The Canadian Electrical Code Part I, or SEC, recognizes and mandates the use of rain-tight EMT couplings, understanding that they effectively prevent water from infiltrating conduit systems and damaging electrical equipment. The CMP approval underscores the vital role these devices play in upholding electrical safety standards. It is always best practice to select and install rain-tight fittings based on specific environmental needs.